Hey guys, welcome to episode 41 of Two Girls Chirping. I'm Lauren.
I'm Abby.
And today we are going to be talking about the NHL Draft and then free agency, which has been... She has been the it girl of the summer. She's been doing so much.
She's been doing a lot, that's for sure. It girl.
Too much.
I'd be fine if she did a little less.
Yeah. Should we get into the pain or should we talk about Patrick Laine?
I don't really want to give this much attention. It just is something that pissed me off. Patrick Laine got married. Him and Jordan have been together for so long.
They looked so cute.
They looked so happy. And I'm watching a video or whatever. I think Bar Down posted like a compilation of it. And then I go to the comments. And they are so freaking mean. Everybody's like, oh, she only married him for his money because look how ugly he is.
Like, that's so mean.
Along
he is
those
not that
lines,
ugly.
He's not. And also, from what I've seen in the media, like, he's a good person.
Yeah.
He founded a whole...
What do you care? Shoot or shoot.
Yeah. Also, you're just mad because you couldn't afford a gold digger if there was one out there looking for you.
A gold digger is a term that was invented by insecure men who couldn't afford to get the girl they wanted because they wanted someone who could offer them more stability.
Yeah, as that AI woman on TikTok says, stop bitching and just find someone in your price range.
Mm-hmm. See if you can land a wife in your price range and shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah. But even if, honestly,
congratulations to them.
I actually ranted to learn about this because that's just something that pisses me off. Because every freaking comment was about it.
I hope they didn't.
Every comment. I mean, I feel like at that point, at that status, you just gotta know not to really pay attention. But every freaking comment was that way, and I'm just like, you couldn't pull a baddie like that because you've got a shitty personality. That's why you can't pull someone like that. Also, he seems like a really good person. He's super outspoken about mental health. They both are. They both have something that they're passionate about in common. Just shut the fuck up. Let him be happy.
Congratulations and leave it at that.
And then they were like coming for his career in the comments too. Like, just shut up. You couldn't do anything that he has done. That's all.
Okay.
I have some other stuff. Dev camps are going on. Development camps.
Yeah.
And they've got like all their prospects and stuff. It's so funny to me because I saw someone talking about, the Blue Jackets went to an escape room, I think. Like, teams are going to escape rooms.
They're going to Disneyland.
They're going to Disneyland. And you know what Vancouver had their prospects do? The gross grind.
And you know what? That's accurate for how it's going to feel to be a Canucks.
Congratulations. Welcome to the shit show.
They said, do you enjoy suffering? Welcome.
But the little pranks that they've been pulling, I know the Boston Bruins had two girls come in and pretend like they're with some scouting agency. Pretend like there was something and just prank them and say like, oh, we're going to have you come be a marching band leader for this school. It was so freaking funny because even the kids were turning to the camera people and being like, is this a joke? But they were going along with it anyways because they want to play.
I will say Vancouver did take the kiddos to do something fun. I just can't remember. I saw it last night, but I can't remember what it was. But they did take them to something that made life hopefully feel worth living.
Life is worth living.
In Vancouver.
But speaking of the prospects, Nashville had their prospects go out, and I don't even know what they were doing, but their shirts said Preds in the community. And I know that they didn't clear that by anybody before printing those shirts and throwing it on a bunch of teenagers. Like, I get it's supposed to be Predators in the community. That sounds worse. Just have them put on a Nashville Predators thing.
Yeah. Just say hockey
so
for the community. Hockey gives back.
Hockey for the community by the community.
For those of you who watch Shoresy, like us currently.
We'll making it through.
We'll probably finish it Sunday. Because we're a couple episodes into season 3.
Yeah.
How many? I don't know because they go by so fast.
I'm pretty sure we're on season 4.
Oh, good Lord. I hope not.
I'm pretty sure. But we've got 2 days left in my Hulu subscription, so it's
getting finished.
It's got to get finished.
We hate to lose a subscription with the series unfinished.
Yeah, these teams, though, don't hate to lose players. Now we can talk about free agency.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest one. We all knew he was leaving the Maple Leafs. However, I'm in denial. Mitch Marner went to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say it. This is my personal opinion. I don't like the jersey on him. But
don't
then again,
like
the
that
Maple Leafs
jersey.
is so good. It's so classy. And blue looks good on everyone.
Blue looks good on everyone.
That shade of gold does not look great on everyone.
It does not look good. It doesn't look good on most.
But he looked well rested. He looked happy. He looked
brought
healthy.
his
He brought his
kid.
kid.
That was cute. I did see him walking in with like a fresh out of the womb child.
Yeah, she's fresh.
She's
fresh.
Yeah. This is, in fact, her first go round.
This is her first free agency with dad.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't regret it. And by they I mean the Marners.
Do we want to talk about the ones that are the most painful to us first, and then I can, or the ones you have notes on first, and then I can cover the others.
This one physically pained me. It actually, picture this. I have worked my 3 days in a row. I am sitting at our kitchen table with Abby. We're talking about our day. I
just had deja vu.
I open Instagram to see. That's because that's how I told our parents about it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That's why you have deja vu.
I was like, this is wild. I just had the most.
Have I lived this?
I lived it, and now I'm hearing it again. I was like, wait. Okay, sorry.
I open Instagram, and what do I see? Brett Burns signed a 1-year deal to the Avs. I thought I was being punked. I thought it was like spitting chiclets. No, It was from the Avs themselves. So I'm not okay. I'm devastated. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm mostly hurt. But good luck, Brent.
You know,
whatever the Canes did to you, I apologize on their behalf. I don't know why you wouldn't just stay with us.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean the Canes did anything to him. Well,
nobody leaves a happy house.
Plenty of people do. What are you talking about?
They either didn't offer him enough money or good enough terms.
Okay.
So those are their crimes that they may or may not have committed against him. And all I want to say is, who's going to overpack for this organization? The guys are going to start actually having to pack stuff because Brent's not going to be there with his 15 big-ass bags.
I wonder how many moving trucks it's going to take to get all of his stuff to Colorado, actually. Come to think of it.
I think I might have to be an Avs fan.
Okay, I'm so glad you're saying this.
And then I think it was penalty. Sorry.
I think that this season we need to focus more on the Avs. They've got Marty Necas and Jack Drew, so at least he obviously he knows plenty of people. He's been in the league long enough. He knows everybody.
Veteran presence.
Yeah, veteran presence. The Avs are pretty freaking stacked.
I know. A couple of people were like, why didn't he go to the Sharks? And we had talked about this because it would have been full circle.
That would have been great.
But, I mean, I think he's just trying to end or wrap up his career. And
I think
while
so,
he
too.
is still pretty competitive, and then maybe he'll go to the Sharks and retire, pull a Joe Thornton.
I would love for him to go to the Sharks and retire.
If he doesn't go to the Sharks and retire, I personally will have my feelings hurt, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know who
I have one more thing about that.
Go.
That one was a really weird one because the Avs posted it before ESPN put it out, which normally it's the opposite way around because if I see something posted on ESPN, I'm waiting to post it to our story or whatever. I'm refreshing the team's page for 5-10 minutes before it's actually posted on there.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then hours later is when I got the notification from ESPN.
Granted, that was a really busy day.
Bro, they have been... Pray for your admin.
Pray for your admin.
Keep them in mind because...
They're working overtime. This is their tax season.
Okay. Now you can go to the next one.
To reference my voice memo on why Curtis Lazar was still at the Devils, but Eric Kalla wasn't. He's not anymore. He went back to the Oilers. The Oilers. I can't say it. I'm sorry. My Southern comes out. I can't say it. The OI is hard. But I did see, they really hyped him up, too. Because they were like, welcome home, the Oiler King, Curtis Lazar. And I was like, damn. Talk about a welcome back.
I've only known him. I've never known him from the Oilers, so.
He was definitely with them.
Maybe I need to look into that a bit more.
I did some brief research, but.
Okay.
You know what I am upset about, though? These fucking Canucks. They just play with my damn feelings. Because all season, Brock's leaving. Brock's not going to get signed. We're not going to keep him. Blah, blah, blah. We couldn't even make it to the playoffs. Everyone's going. Brock literally is like, I don't think it's going to work out. I grieved for this man. We all the Canucks girls, or Canucks Nation, whatever, did. Brock was a done deal. I had made my bed with it. It took me months to come to peace. This bitch signs a 7-year deal.
Yeah, that was...
What the fuck?
No, they literally...
Psychological warfare.
Yes. That was crazy. That
I had to check it was from the official page because I was like, what do you mean? And then they re-signed Connor Garland for what? I can't remember. A couple years for... It's anywhere from like 4 to 7. They got really good extensions, which Connor Garland deserved because he really showed up. One of the most consistent show up, show outs of their season. I mean, Brock wasn't there, but, you know, maybe he will be next year now that he's got the security blanket. You know, I get sensitive about these things. And it is my first season, so I really didn't. This might be normal, but I wasn't prepared for this many people to leave and, like, get shuffled around. But now I am prepared for next season. And the only other two I have are Brad Marchand signed a 6-year deal with the Panthers. No one is surprised. You go, Brad. Go, Brad, go. I want to see a contract with Dairy Queen immediately with him.
Honestly, that's a missed opportunity. I think they temporarily came out with, like, the Marchand something.
It was a one-day special.
Oh, it was a one-day special. No, they should probably do something long-term.
And he chose, like, cookie dough, which is such an elite flavor. I was like, I love this man.
Cookie dough is elite.
That is my little rat king.
Oh,
they don't know him like I know him.
They don't know him like... We didn't really know much about him until...
I didn't like him.
I didn't like him until this, too.
But he was playing with the Bruins, and I didn't like that. And then when he played with the Panthers, I was like, this is just normal. Like, this is how they are.
I feel like, too... Correct me if I'm wrong. When he was playing with the Bruins, he wasn't playing well. And I was like, you can't be a douche and also be bad.
You can only be one or the other.
But then he went to Florida. He got this, like, renewed...
Because he had a good team.
Energy and started playing well. And I'm like, if you're going to be a douche, at least play well. That's fine.
Exactly. Speaking of the antithesis of a douche, Alex Lyon. Did you see
where... Big word.
It just means opposite.
Oh, I did not know. I was like, Alex Lyons doesn't give douche energy. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish what you were saying.
Did you see where he went?
Red Wings. No. That's where he was.
Nar fam.
I have it.
He went to the Sabres on a 2-year deal. I think I'm one of the only people that are excited. Because they have a lot. They're a young team-ish. They've got a lot that they need to get together. But he's such a good goalie.
They've definitely got a lot they need to get together. That's an understatement. And he wasn't he kind of the backup goalie in the Red Wings? I don't feel like he played a ton. I just liked him as a human being. Like, I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
And I could see him going to Buffalo, and while it's still Buffalo, being, like, the number one goaltender. I'm pulling up right now to see who their previous goaltender was, just to see. Yeah. I mean, I could see him being the number one goaltender there.
For sure.
He's shorter than both of these guys, but...
It's not the size, it's the quality.
I mean, something's got to change in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Just in general, so, like, maybe...
And we all know if you have a good goaltender, you have a much better team.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's for sure.
Those were all the big ones. There was... way too many to count, but those were the big ones.
There's been so many
I cared about.
I'm gonna go through ones that I've cared about. I'm not really gonna talk a ton about them, but the Canadians, they've lost Christian Dvorak, who went to the Flyers for a 1-year deal. They re-signed Jake Allen to the Devils.
I did see that, but I didn't want to acknowledge that because I don't really like him as a goaltender.
Yeah,
he did in the second half of the season. He was better.
He was.
But I just am not a big fan of him.
Yeah, I think Markstrom's
number one.
Yeah.
Easy
I fully
peasy.
agree. But I feel like Allen was very disappointing.
My overall impression was that he was not very consistent. Anytime he was put into play, I was like,
he's just not consistent. That's the thing.
We're going to lose.
Yeah.
And we did.
But he signed 5-year deal, $1.8 million a year.
Oh, a year.
Logan Stankoven has signed an 8-year extension with Carolina. I love that.
Me too. I love that guy.
I love that little guy.
He's one of my faves.
Yes.
And he showed up in the playoffs. He was one of the only ones that showed up in the playoffs.
They got in Jankowski and Stankoven, two underrated guys who just came in and took over.
They really did. They said, I'm your daddy
And I
now.
love it, personally.
They said, daddy's a mindset.
Patrick Kane signed a 1-year contract extension.
I did see.
That's interesting to me, but we'll see. He's getting up there in age, so...
As long as he's willing to play with the Red Wings and they keep giving me the cute content about the kids lining up to see their dads go out on ice, you've charmed me. I don't care how your season is.
I agree. The Oilers signed Evan Bouchard to a 4-year deal. That'll be good for them, hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully. It can't be much worse.
It can't get much worse. I mean, they've made the Cup final the past 2 seasons.
It can't get much worse for them. They've crumbled both times.
That is true.
They need some more help.
That's true. Matthew Nyes has signed a 6-year contract extension.
Oh, shoot. That was on my list, too.
Yeah.
And John Tavares.
Tavares. I don't honestly know the correct way to pronounce that. I hear it different every single time.
I know, I hear it different.
It's like Marchand,
They're both safe.
Yeah, they're both staying for a good bit. I'm sure I have something about his contract.
An excellent call for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed y'all lost Mitch Marner, but honestly, the fans ran him out of that city, and he was from Toronto, so.
The fans did run him out of that city.
Y'all want to act a damn fool and run away all your stars because you can't play any better than them, but you want to be in their comments and bully them. That's fine. Lose.
Yeah. Speaking of the Maple Leafs, they signed Michael Pizzita from the Canadiens. I'm really scared for the Canadiens this next season, and I think it's just me. I just worry about them.
No, they're a young team.
I know, and I just want them to do well.
They've still got Galley. They've got Lane.
They've got Gooley.
We've got Gooley back.
And we've got the big 3.
We've got Arbor.
We've got the big 3. We've got Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll be okay.
We're going to be fine.
Right?
We're going to be fine. Don't worry about us.
Yeah. Connor Perry.
You are screaming.
Yeah, I did just scream that. I also am, like, stopped up, so I can't really
Corey
hear.
Perry?
Did I say Connor Perry? I think
did.
it's because I was looking at Connor Brown signed with the New Jersey Devils, a 4-year deal. Corey Perry has signed a 1-year deal along with Joel Armia, which is another Habs player that they've lost now, to the Kings.
Yeah. Corey Perry's he's bounced around a good bit.
He has.
He's trying to collect them all.
I saw something mean that made me laugh.
Me too. I think we saw the same thing. I don't want to speak on it, though, because he really showed up for his team.
He did. But the Canadiens have signed Capo Kakkonen to a 1-year deal. I really freaking hope that turns out well. I think it will. He's a good player.
Yeah. He's young.
Yeah. Is he?
He's fairly young.
Oh, okay. Pop off.
I mean, he's no 40-year-old Brent Burns. My legend.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through to see if anything else is going to be here.
You want to know who I am concerned about?
Who?
I'm concerned on why Luke Hughes hasn't signed a contract yet.
Yeah,
I'm also concerned.
He is not.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere, but I won't feel safe until I see them announce it.
Yeah.
I think he played quite well for the, half the season he was there for.
I don't imagine that they would do anything with him. I think that if he were to leave, it would be his own call. But I would be shocked if he left. That would actually shock me to my core.
I would be so butthurt about that. I would never recover. Also,
if he's leaving, he's got to go to Vancouver. Like, I'm so sorry, but we can't have Hughes brothers on 3 different teams. You got to pick one or the other.
Well, I mean, no disrespect to Luke, but he's a baby. So if he left and went to another team, I'd still just watch the Canucks and the Devils. And then when he would come into his prime, I'd tune in then.
Yeah.
I can't be watching the whole family. That's creepy.
And if you're going to leave, at least just go to one of the teams we already watch.
Yeah, I mean, shit, Vancouver still needs help.
Yeah.
On their D.
For real. Keandre Miller to the Carolina Hurricanes.
For like 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, $60 million extension. And
I'm not happy
in
about
return, the Rangers got Scott Morrow, which I liked him.
I like Scott too.
He's just a little babe.
He had a nice name.
Also,
but
Scott Morrow needs developing.
And the Rangers don't develop shit.
Don't develop their players. Keandre Miller, though, he's definitely going to add a little bit of spice to the Hurricanes D. Because he's a defenseman, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah, he doesn't play like a Hurricane.
I personally, I've only seen him in the Rangers uniform, so it's a bit skewed. I don't like the guy, and I'm not excited about this. It seems like a really long-term deal and a lot of money, and we don't need it. We didn't need that much help.
I think I like him. I don't know enough about him to pass judgment, really.
We'll see. I'm excited for him to change my mind.
Yeah.
And that is a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to put on that Canes uniform and be like, hey, Miller.
Hey, I'm your biggest fan.
You go, girl.
I think I like him. I
don't know enough about him other than the crimes he's committed against my teams.
I think that's what I'm trying to separate. I think he might be good for the Hurricanes because the Hurricanes love him. They don't have enough bite. Like, they're not a fighting team. Mm-mm. They just play. And that's fine, and that's gotten them thus far.
They need their
But they need a little bit of fight. I think we saw it in the playoffs.
God, yeah.
Specifically versus the Panthers, which there's the Eastern Conference curse for a reason, but also the Panthers...
I would argue the Capitals, number one.
The Capitals, yeah. But, like, they just... You gotta have a bit of bite. And he will definitely bring that. Now, how much they'll actually let him, I don't know.
Hopefully not much. I have a lot of faith in Rod. And, in Rod we trust.
But Rod doesn't sign players.
But Rod coaches them.
Rod does coach players.
And he is not about to let you act a damn fool.
That's valid. Yeah, he won't. They also signed Nick Ehlers to a 6-year, $51 million deal.
I do like that one, though.
He's only played 10 NHL games, and he's got double-digit points. So, that should hopefully be good.
All right.
Sorry.
Shall we get into the NHL?
Just before we get into the draft, I have a couple of notes. First of all, as a reminder, just because they're drafted does not mean they will ever play in the NHL.
Which is fucked up.
Or,
I don't
well,
like that.
That's how most sports are.
I just don't like it.
That's just life, unfortunately. That's like how most sports are. The PWHL is the exception because they are expanding right now, and so it's pretty much a given you're going to play in the PWHL. But the NHL is already they have such long careers.
Yeah.
That you will likely never play in the NHL unless you're a top pick. And what?
They should just Devil Wears Prada it and have like an age cutoff. Oh, you're this old? You're retired. You can't play here anymore.
Oh. Okay.
Just really sucks for like David Pasternak, who's still killing it.
Burns.
Or Brent Burns.
Or Brad Marchand, I think.
Or Patrick Kane.
I don't know. Just keep it in mind if you see somebody who was drafted, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to play. Sometimes they do. I actually saw a post about some of the later draft picks that turned out to be like big stars in the NHL.
Oh.
Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah, we know that one.
Was selected 135th overall.
And that's a prime number.
Henrik Lundqvist was 205.
Really?
Yes. First of all, did anybody else see that thirst trap that he posted of him grilling?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Someone...
And you know what? Hell yeah.
Go for it.
Yes.
Connor Hellebuck was 130. Jamie Benn 129. Mm-hmm. Pavel Burr was over 113. So it doesn't just because you're
your draft number does not correlate with your skill level or your career.
True. Also, goalies tend to go later in the draft.
Yeah.
Wow, my notes are going to be a bit scattered because I was a bit scattered watching this because I got my heart ripped out of my chest, stomped on, and then spat on. And then they shoved it back in and punched me in the face.
I think it was just like an oil change. They just wanted to make sure it was in working condition.
Well, that was just in the first pick.
You just got to rotate the tires, Make sure you can still feel things every once in a while.
I can feel things. I never questioned if I could feel things or not.
I know, my little empath.
I feel a lot of things.
You do. Quite clearly.
Also, this draft, and we talked about it a bit last episode, I did not like the way it was done.
It was terrible.
And I thought it was a hot take, and apparently a lot of people agree with me.
Good.
It was decentralized, is what they called it. All of the teams were in their own, like, headquarters. They could set up something, and they were, like, zoomed in, essentially. It was so cringe. Also, what was super cringe was after, I want to say after the first round, they had celebrities coming out to make the picks, to announce them. And
not even coming out.
Like not even coming out. More than half of them weren't even there. One guy was on a golf course.
What's good? Pause for applause. The next pick is, I'm like,
it just like, oh,
I hated so cringe.
it. So there's like this stage, obviously, and then there's the draft house, which is off to the left. It's still on the stage, but these doors open up, and there's a video call of the team that just shows, and you get to ask them a few questions.
It was like a Nickelodeon show.
It literally was. Like, why didn't they just bring out the slime?
For real.
Oh, you're not chosen, slime.
You suck.
It was just weird. And the Bruins, I talked about this too, but the Bruins, when they drafted James Higgins, they couldn't even talk to him. It was frozen. It was just, it was so dumb. And also, if I was getting drafted and my team wasn't even there to, like, shake my hand and say congratulations, I'd be pissed.
It's so awkward. There's only 32 teams. Send a representative.
Just in one. Also, it's not like you're hurting for money.
Yeah. But
the general managers really wanted it to be done this way. It was done this way. And I would say 90% of fans were like, this is stupid.
Especially since it happened after the PWHL draft, which was elite.
That PWHL draft was so much better than they could have done it.
I know. It just set the bar really high.
Yeah. One thing about the NHL draft, and I think the NFL is the same way. The commissioner is Gary Bateman. Mm-hmm. He comes out. Everybody boos him. Everybody boos him.
That's so sad. Why?
Because he's the commissioner, and it's a men's sport.
I don't like that.
I said the PWHL could never. But his walkout was giving Caesar Flickerman coming out to interview the tributes. I kid you not. People are booing, and he's like, hey.
That would have hurt my feelings to see.
Yeah, but I think that he loves it. Also, the crowd started chanting random shit every once in a while. I was just like, shut up and sit down and shut up.
They were just bored.
Talk less, smile more.
Talk less, smile more.
And then we had the number one pick. If you listen to the last episode, you will get a live reaction from me of Matthew Schaefer being drafted first overall to the New York Islanders. This kid has a piece of my heart forever, I fear.
Yeah.
He's only 17 years old.
He's a baby.
He's from Hamilton, Canada. This kid was born in 2007, Lauren.
Yeah, he's a baby. It's really embarrassing when they start being born in the 2000s, and I'm a 1900s baby myself. You're barely 2000, but then you're like, oh, look at this little teenager, like, he's just a few years younger than me, and then it's like, 2008. Like, bitch, I was in elementary school.
Yeah. So, a little bit about Matthew Schaefer. The 2023-24 season was his rookie season in the OHL. He played for the Erie Otters. He was drafted first overall in the OHL draft. First of all, Connor McDavid also played for the Erie Otters, drafted first overall to them.
The Otters is such a cute little team name.
It is. I love Otters personally. He was called the backbone of their defense. Now, what you already know was his mother passed in February of 2024 from breast cancer. And about 3 months later, his billet mom was struck and killed by a train in an apparent suicide.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did have Emma explain to me what a billet mom was.
I was about to explain to you what a billet mom was, too. If you
Emma beat you to it, but please explain.
Okay, thank you. If you don't know what a billet mom is, so these players will, like, just move to further their hockey careers, but they're 16, 17 years old. Obviously, they need a guardian. They need someone to make sure they're alive. in that family. It's kind of a host family. They're billet family. All of this happened during his rookie season of the OHL.
Yeah.
So it was pretty brutal.
He's stronger than me. He is stronger than me.
Yeah. The following season, this past one, the 24-25 season, he had mono to start out the season.
I've had mono before.
Me too.
Relatable.
He missed the first 9 games of that season, and then in January, he had a broken collarbone, and he was out for the rest of the season.
That's a rough year.
Dude, the past, 3 years have been rough for this kid. His broken collarbone, I have found so many ties between him and Connor McDavid.
Perfect.
Throughout this whole thing. Because, Connor McDavid had broken collarbones. Brutal. I was just like, oh, hi. Hi, McDavid. He only played 17 games, but still had 22 points and was named the Scouting Bureau's top skater and the CHL's top draft prospect.
Lovely.
So they were like, he might not be playing much, but he's doing the things.
He's having a rough year, but he's going places.
Yeah. So speaking of going places, let's talk worlds and national teams. He was the captain for Team Canada Juniors in the 2023 Canadian World Games, scoring the game-winning goal in overtime to win the finals.
Wow, that is very Connor McDavid of him.
Yes. He was captain and won gold in the 2023 Under-17 Championship. He also won gold for the Under-18 2024 Championship, where they went undefeated that whole tournament. They went defeated. He still
lost.
won gold. So the draft is going on. They compared him a lot to Miro Heiskanen, just in the style that he plays. God, I don't want to get emotional again. But all caps. Oh my God, he looks like he's going to cry. So now I'm tearing up. His whole family is crying. I'm sobbing. Never forget the quote. You can see the emotion. They miss his mother, and she should be hugging him right now. Shit, I'm sobbing now.
Yeah.
The Islanders put a purple ribbon, which is breast cancer awareness ribbon, on his... Breast cancer is pink.
No, you're right. It's purple.
It's purple.
Well, I mean, it can be either one.
It can be either one. On his jersey that he puts on, as soon as he gets drafted. They only did that to his. His is the only jersey during the draft that had that. And I think that was just such a special touch. The way he kissed the ribbon and, pointed up at the sky as he's sobbing. Throughout this whole thing, he was basically sobbing, and I was too. There's actually no basically about it. I was. Anytime he'd pop up on screen and be like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I loved that the Islanders did that.
Yeah. And the Islanders management said Matthew as a hockey player is outstanding, and as a human being is even more outstanding. So we are lucky to have him. He is the first player since Connor McDavid to be picked first overall in both the OHL and NHL drafts, both picked by the Erie Otters. So,
I mean, history never repeats itself.
He seems like such a sweet kid, and I
hope the Islanders develop him better than they did to Matt Barzal. Mm-hmm. And by that, I mean that team better step up.
That whole organization just needs to step up. There's just a lack of everything. But
everything's terrible.
Everything is lacking.
Everything sucks.
Everything is bad.
I don't even know what the problem is.
I don't even think their media is really doing anything for them, to be honest.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, and I did see he went to Rhode Island, or is it Long Island? Long Island.
They're the Islanders. So Long Island.
Yeah, but is it Rhode Island or Long Island?
No.
To Long Island, and they were interviewing him, and he was like, how are you finding the city? How are you finding the people? And he was like, great, I've been asking people where to eat. And I've gotten a lot of food recommendations.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, he seems like such a sweet kid.
I am just like, please, God, let bad things stop happening to him.
Please.
He's paid his dues. He paid my dues.
Gosh, yeah, he's served his time. Mm-hmm. Okay, the second overall pick by the San Jose Sharks was Michael Misa, a forward from Oakville, Canada. He looks like he should be on, oh my God, what's that show?
What network is it
It's
on?
from like the 90s, and they're in a
Full House?
school. No, they're in a school.
That 70s show? Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell. He looks like he should have been in Saved by the Bell. I don't know how to explain any further. He just does. I also...
Is it his face or is it his style?
It's his face. Do you want to see a picture of him?
Sure. Oh, what a sweetie pie.
Yeah.
How old is he? I'm so
He is
excited.
18 years old. They're all 17, 18 years old.
Children.
I'm not saying he and Stankoven are the same person, but I am saying I've never seen them in the same room. They look quite similar.
Do they really? I think it's the jawline.
I think it is, and I think it's the dark features. There's this thing, the OHL Cup, which is basically just a showcase for scouts who are looking to draft people into the OHL.
Okay.
At the 2022 OHL Cup, he broke McDavid's record for tournament scoring with 7 goals, was granted exceptional player status, which allows underage players to enter the major juniors early.
Oh, I remember that from, like, I want to say Connor Bedard.
Connor McDavid also had it.
Yeah.
Which
The
tracks.
Connors, if you will.
The Connors, if you will. He was the 8th player in history to be granted exceptional status.
Dang.
Yeah. He was drafted first overall by the Saginaw Spirit.
The Spirit. Woohoo!
Yeah, the Spirit. That's what we're going to go with. He did break his tibia and missed 6 weeks of his rookie season because of it.
It's a rough go.
He came back and he had the most productive season for an exceptional status player regardless.
There it is. There it is.
Ahead of Tavares and McDavid.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Those are good names to be thrown in the mix with.
For real. He was Rookie of the Year and then named captain of that team this past January 2025. Period. He had multi-point games in 70% of his OHL career.
God.
Finished first in the league in scoring this past season with 134 points. I want to say they play like 50-ish games.
This is very similar to the Connor McDavid episode.
Isn't it? He was also awarded MVP of the OHL and Scholastic Player.
Scholastic is such a fun word.
I love that word. It reminds me of like the Scholastic Book Fair or whatever that used to come to schools.
That thing was so good.
I used to want to spend all my money there.
All the money I didn't have.
All the money that my parents would allow me to.
All $5.
I could get like a pencil.
Literally.
That smelled like a banana or something. And you know, I'd be in class and I'd be like,
Snorting my banana scented pencil. Mind your
snorting
business.
my banana scented pencil. Prior to this draft, the NHL Central Scouting Bureau named him the E.J. McGuire Award of Excellence.
Did they knight them for that?
No,
Like
but
a
I feel like
hockey
they
stick?
should.
I feel like they should.
I feel like they should too. That award goes to the player who best exemplifies commitment to excellence through strength of character, competitiveness, and athleticism.
So basically, you're the best.
Yeah. So you're that guy.
He is him.
He is him. My my live draft notes. It was pretty questionable on if he would go second or third. Again, Schaefer was guaranteed number 1.
Yeah.
And they kept saying he's just got that it factor. I hate this term that I'm about to use, but they kept saying he's got big dog energy, which just feels weird to use. I don't know.
Just say he's got aura. Just say he's an
He's
aura
got
farmer.
aura.
He's got intangibles, you know?
Intangible.
Yeah. All of that sounds better than big dog energy. Like, what are you trying to do? Scare away the neighbors? Like, what?
He models his game very much after Kirill Kaprizov.
Excellent choice.
Excellent choice. And Emily Kaplan said he's probably the smartest player in the draft in the way that he sees the ice.
And that's Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
And also Lane Hudson.
He's had 20 one-timers this past season that went in.
What is a one-timer?
What Ovi does. You just hit the puck one time and it goes in.
Pew.
Pew.
We should just rename that the Ovi.
The Ovi, yeah.
Like,
I didn't know how to explain it other than what Ovi does.
I knew exactly what you were talking about as soon as you said that, though.
Yeah, because he just stands in the same spot and hits
same
one-timers
spot the
over
way,
and over again.
and they always go in. Or statistically, most go in.
Most. Michael's older brother, Luke Misa, was drafted last year.
I was about to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was drafted last year by the Flames in the 5th round,
Rip.
so a bit later. He has not played in the NHL. He went back to Penn State. Celebrini FaceTimed him after. They look like they'll just get along very naturally. Because the way that Michael was talking to him and they were just talking with each other, I was like, do they know each other? No, they don't know each other. They were just talking like they were old friends. So
I mean,
think
they're only like a year or two apart.
Yeah.
And elite hockey players are in a small little circle. Even if you don't know each other, you know about each other. Also, Macklin's just a boy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. And, Michael has a big dog energy. Rough.
Okay, so
Have you seen what I was referencing with the aura farming? Have you seen
Yes, the boat thing?
Yeah. Michael's on the front. He's the one that got blessed and is like just doing the damn thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And Macklin and Will are just
and Orlov's right in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Orlov is with the Sharks now.
Orlov's with the Sharks. There
you go.
You know it now.
We talked about it. Okay, 3rd overall, Anton Frundell, a forward. He was drafted to the Chicago Blackhawks. He's 18 years old, from Sweden.
Oh.
And per the NHL scouting director, he is built like a military tank.
Well, don't they have everyone do military service for at least a year?
Not at that age. And I don't think that it's Sweden.
It
might be.
It's definitely Switzerland.
Because Nico Hischier did it during COVID.
Well, I mean, Sweden's great. That is like my dream country to live in.
Oh my God, I would love to live in Sweden.
They're so strict with who they let live there, though.
I know, we could never get in there.
I don't know, you might.
I don't speak Swedish.
You look like you could be Swedish, though.
I don't. That doesn't pass.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, pale as hell. You would fit right in there.
You're taller than Swedish.
Me. Well, yeah, we'd have to learn. Duh.
I have another quote from the scouting director. He's a strong player with strong legs, which shows in his strong skating. How many times is he going to use the word strong?
Can you use a different word other than strong?
Sure. He has... He has the perfect balance in his skating. He wins the majority of his one-on-one battles with his attitude, power, and quick stick. He delivers intelligent passes and is a real asset, especially on the power play.
Yo, do you think you could, talk about him like he's a human being instead of just, a factory toy you're purchasing? An asset. He's a strong asset.
Girl,
he's built like a unit. I don't like their statement about him.
I feel like that is a completely normal statement to have.
He's a strong asset. He's a boy.
He is.
He's strong. Do you think he's strong?
I don't know. They were really beating around the bush on if he's strong or not.
Do you think he could, definitely give military vibe to you?
Depends on the military.
Anyways.
So, his dad played tennis growing up. Not professionally or anything. And I saw an article talking about how his dad was still questioning if hockey was the correct route for him or not. Because apparently he wanted Anton to become a pro tennis player and still does. And
I think it's too late for that, Dad.
It's giving Chad Michael Murray's dad from A Cinderella Story, pushing his dream on his son, but not in a Joss Verstappen way.
It's more like Coach Bolton.
Yeah, it's like Coach Bolton.
You should play basketball. Basketball players don't sing.
It's like, I can sing and play ball, Dad.
I'm multi-talented. I'm Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Try. I feel so bad for him going to the Blackhawks, but at least Connor Bedard will have new company.
Yeah. Also, this is Chicago's 100th season.
And what do they have to show for it?
Plenty, just not recently.
Cool.
It sure
would be cool if y'all could turn your program around.
Oh, what do you know? A quote. He was an absolute menace at the combine. He's not a big points guy, but he's a big two-way player. He's got a heavy shot because he's quite strong, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
He looked shocked to be selected.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it was me reading into it, but the look on his face was like, oh.
Maybe he's just shocked to go to the Blackhawks.
Maybe.
I'd be like, actually, I didn't declare.
Yeah. But he got into hockey, again, the dad tennis thing. He had been playing tennis. His dad signed him up for hockey for something to do in the off season of tennis, and that just kind of took over. Oh,
well, I mean, Ben Shelton played football until he fully committed to tennis, and that's why he is strong as a freaking ox.
That is very true. God.
Crash Out King.
Crash Out King.
Always warranted.
It was worth it. It was funny to me, though. He was they asked him about, like, when he first started hockey. His parents didn't know if he was going to like it or not, and so they didn't want to invest in a bunch of hockey gear or whatever.
Fair.
So he started playing with pink and white figure skates until he found out that he actually liked the sport, and they got him some real hockey skates.
And that's fair.
That was just a little funny.
Boys can wear pink.
Yeah. So this is where we're going to skip around a little bit because, quite frankly, I wanted to talk about these players instead. Brady Martin, drafted 5th overall to the Nashville Predators. This is our good old farm boy, Brady.
Oh, I
was waiting for it.
I can't go to the draft because I gotta stay at home.
Yes,
with the fam.
Waiting for it to click in your head.
It's crop season, bitch.
It was. It's planting season.
And now he's seeing his field yield.
Yeah, he did not go to the draft. I'm sure you've probably seen it. He was at home on his farm. It's planting season. They were doing the thing.
It's not planting season.
It's not planting season, but it's what? Seeding season. Planting, seeding, same thing.
Let's move along with it.
Yeah, they went back to his home during the draft and, like, followed him around a bit, and they showed in one of the barns, they've got this old washing machine, and that's what he uses for target practice.
Period.
And it is so beat up. It was so funny. And he didn't go to the draft. They had a bunch of chairs set out. He said probably like 100 people were there.
Oh, wow.
Still, and they had a giant screen being held up by a tractor.
Facts.
For them to watch the draft on. It was a very cute moment. So, he's farm strong, which I think...
And that counts for a lot.
Farm strong is different. Durable. That's durable. That is resilient. There's a certain type of strength that comes from working on a farm.
You either know farm strong or you don't, but you're gonna if you watch Brady.
You're gonna. They have over 60,000 chickens and 250 dairy cows.
Do they produce eggs or do they produce chicken?
Unclear, but I know they produce dairy, not meat.
Good.
Like they milk the cows.
Good. Thank God.
Yeah, it's a dairy farm.
Woo!
Yes. Woo! Yeah.
Because I don't want to know anything. If we're just out here killing animals, I'm going to compete them.
Yes. So he was drafted to the Nashville Predators. I don't know if I said that.
Did you say he's a predator in the community?
That's not funny.
It's not funny.
The only other thing I will say about him is at the development camp, they interviewed him. And he was like, yeah, this is basically my vacation because I wasn't going to leave home.
Girl, I wouldn't have either.
Yeah. Number 7th overall, James Higgins, a forward.
I've heard of him.
He was drafted to Boston, the Bruins. He has a brunette girlfriend.
Yes!
That may mean nothing to you, but it means something to us.
It does. That's
Yes.
right. You break those stereotypes.
He played for the one and only USA National Team Development Program.
There it is. Don't call me up.
For both the 22-23 season and the 23-24 season.
So he got to play with Celebrini.
Oh, probably, yeah. I didn't even think about that. But he played 2 seasons, 57 games over those 2 seasons with 87 points.
Dadgum.
Yes. He also played in the under 17 Worlds in 2022, having 8 goals and 13 assists in just 7 games. So he's good. He's a point producer. Mm-hmm. He won gold, and he also set a World's Under 17 Hockey Challenge points record.
God almighty.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to do at 17.
Yeah, with 21 points. The previous record was 18, so he had 3 more points than that, which is bob off.
We love.
At the IIHF under 18 2023. Why do they have such long titles?
Those things don't work. Like, those letters don't work well together either. It's so hard to say.
He won gold in 2023. In 2024, he led tournament scoring, was named tournament MVP, and set a points record, passing Nikita Kucherov's record of 21 points, passing it with 22. They won silver that season. So he didn't even win gold, but he did all that. For silver. All of that for silver.
Dang.
He was the youngest player to be invited to the USA Hockey Selections camp to make the national team. He was inevitably cut, but made it in 2025 and won gold.
Oh.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah. He was eligible for the draft in 2024, but did not declare. He actually decided to go to Boston College. So he's from the Boston area. He knows the area. He's already got a place to live.
Good.
That'll be good. I think he's probably going to end up spending another season at Boston College.
Good.
I don't know.
Your degree.
That's not going to be enough for him to get a degree. But his brother has also committed there. So they would at least get to play together, which would be cute. But Boston needed a new center, and he's good. He's apparently a really good playmaker. It would
seem so.
I talked a lot of shit about the celebrities, and I still think it was stupid, but I do like.
It was poorly executed.
It was so poorly executed. His favorite movie is Happy Gilmore.
Oh, this is him?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
Adam Sandler announced the pick being him getting drafted to the Bruins. So that's at least a special moment. I still think it was cringe the way it happened, but hey, who am I to judge?
What do I know? I've never been drafted.
Yeah. 10th overall, my favorite, I think. Actually, not my favorite, but he's up there. Roger McQueen, drafted to the Anaheim Ducks. A little thing about me, Cars is one of my favorite movies of all time. But that movie just has such a special place in my heart. And of course, his last name is McQueen. He was drafted to a team founded by Disney. It's just great. I did see a clip in his highlight reel where the commentator said lightning strikes twice. It's McQueen.
They really thought they ate with that.
And honestly, I think they did.
The delivery was excellent.
Yeah, he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, he is.
His junior team that he played for was the Branton Wheat Kings. Yes. And he missed the final month of the season with a back injury. He's no stranger to injuries. Part of me thinks it's because he's like 6'5" and skinny. He needs to put on some more weight or he's going to get absolutely destroyed.
He's going to square up with Matt Rempe and he's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did come back to the playoffs for the Wheat Kings that season and led the scoring for the team. So, like, he came back stronger.
He needs to be put on a bodybuilding diet.
He definitely needs to bulk up.
Every 2 hours, you got to bulk up on some protein. Like, we got to get some weight on that kid.
You don't need any more water.
Skinny.
He is skinny.
You do need water.
He got injured again in the 2024 IIHF tournament.
Yikes.
And then also injured in the regular season last season. He just needs to put on some weight. Yeah. He does have a shoot first mentality.
How American of him.
That's not funny. Unfortunately, he is Canadian too.
Not anymore.
But yeah, last season he he chose number 95.
Why?
For Anaheim. Anaheim. For his jersey number at Anaheim. Lightning McQueen's number 95. That's
coincidence? I think not.
It's definitely not. He definitely leaned into the whole Lightning McQueen aspect of it. And you know what? I do want a jersey of his. Strictly to say McQueen on it. That's so friggin' funny. A couple other players. This one I'm kind of going to just touch on strictly because we know his brother. Victor Eklund was drafted 17th overall, also to the Islanders. He was originally projected 12th, but the Penguins traded that pick, and then he kind of just dropped down. He is William Eklund's younger brother. William Eklund plays for the Sharks. Those jeans go so hard.
Oh, yeah. They are family.
They are family, 1,000%. Christian, their father, actually played pro hockey in Sweden, too. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure you told me that at some point. Or I researched
Maybe it was when I was doing
Either way,
this.
I knew that.
Yeah. He's a does whatever it takes to win type of player, is how they've described him.
That's helpful for the Islanders because they need to figure out how to win.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Don't they? He's a bit smaller than his brother, but they think that he will end up being better than his brother.
Oh.
So we'll see about that, TBD. And apparently his junior career is very similar to Elias Pettersson's. They played for the same program too, I believe. So we'll keep an eye out for him.
All right, I'm watching you. You're on the clock, Victor.
You're on the clock. This is our last player. My favorite. He was drafted 33rd overall to the San Jose Sharks, which, again, the Sharks. Wang Haoshi, otherwise known as Simon Wang.
Okay.
He is the highest ever drafted Chinese player.
We freaking love to see it. Welcome.
Yeah, he's only the third Chinese-born player to be drafted into the NHL. Mm-hmm. I adore him. He tends to go by Simon Wang, which is probably how you'll hear a lot of people refer to him, but I wanted to refer to him as his actual name.
Fair.
He says Simon Wang is easier for North Americans to pronounce. You're right, but it's also your name.
Not your name.
It's also not your name, and I don't feel like you should have to change that for us.
We can totally learn how to pronounce your name, kind of.
Yeah. So Haoshi is 6'5".
Damn.
215 pounds.
Sheesh.
Yes.
That is not a small boy.
No. He is Canadian and Chinese. He grew up in China. I think his dad is Canadian, but his mom is Chinese, and she is honestly that bitch.
Is she stunning?
She's just like so. We'll talk about it in a second.
Is she a girl boss?
Yeah, she is a girl boss, and she said, "I know what's going to pop off in China, and I'm gonna not only invest in it, but invest in my son to do it."
And that's facts.
And it worked out for the better. He is the first pick of the second round. He first discovered hockey, or became a fan of hockey, when the NHL games happened in China. So he went to a game there, and he said, something just clicked inside of me, and I fell in love with the game. Right away, I told my mom I need to get out there as soon as possible, and I probably went to the ice in the next day or so.
She said, I can make that
happen.
She
said, your wish is my command.
Yes, sir.
At 12 years old, he moved to Toronto to get into the OHL, and he moved to Toronto to play more hockey
so that he
could get into the OHL, which he did last year for the Oshawa Generals.
Ooh.
They lost in the OHL finals. So they were the second team in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's only played hockey for, I think they said 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah. Was when he fully committed to North American hockey.
Dang, maybe I should play hockey.
Yeah, he talks about he started playing hockey in China, but it's completely different because they don't have like the impact that North American hockey does, because they don't have the resources. They're wanting to pull like the Wayne Gretzky move. They're wanting to pull like the fun moves, and it wasn't until he moved to Canada that he realized how different the game was here and how much he needed to grow in it.
Good.
The majority of my notes on him are clips from a few articles. First, let's talk about his mother, who allowed him to do this, Willa, which is such a cute name.
That is a very cute name.
She worked for a state-owned company. Her hours were horrible. Her son wanted to play some hockey. He didn't really know. She said that she could never finish work early, so they were always late for his hockey because of rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
And said, I would even cry in the car because I could not go anywhere, and there were so many cars stopped, which is so real. And she wanted to get a rink closer to where they lived so that he could play there, and she was awarded by the city, quote, a big place that she could rent. They built a rink inside of it and hired a hockey coach and a figure skating coach.
Dang.
With some additional support from the government. Now, this is important to keep in mind. The Beijing Olympic Games, they had just been announced that they would have Olympic Games.
Yes.
So they also wanted to have a team that could compete in that.
For sure.
And that was part of it.
You go,
She
China.
eventually owned 2 clubs, the Beijing Capitals Minor Hockey Club and the Beijing Miracle Figure Skating Club.
That's an adorable name.
Yes. The government really wanted to encourage kids to get into it, so they financially helped her a lot, but she still grew them. Anyways, she knew that it would be a growing thing, especially with the Olympics, so she wanted to get involved in the business before it happened. Over time, she opened up more rinks, and she owns multiple arenas in China as the president of the Beijing Sports and Culture Company.
Okay.
Period. Queen. After the draft, he just kept saying, like, this is such a big deal for, like, kids that want to play hockey in China. It's just a surreal moment, a dream come true. And he talks about how once he's done with hockey, he really wants to go back to China and create a development program to help develop the next generation of Chinese hockey players so that someone can beat his records.
He's one of 3 Chinese NHL players. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's plenty of room for growth.
Yeah. And that is Wang Haoxi.
You go, Wang Haoxi.
And then I just have a couple of additional notes. First and foremost, there's this kid, Bill Zonin, who was drafted 22nd overall by the Penguins. He got into hockey because he saw P.K. Subban playing for the Canadiens.
I did see this guy.
And he said, hey, that guy looks like me. Can I play this sport?
Yes, you
and
can.
He got into it that way. And I've seen so many people talking about this and talking about how this just proves representation does matter in all sports. And I just loved it so much. So I wanted to call attention to that. Which we also saw that in the PWHL. Mm-hmm. They got a major team, or they got a major league. And suddenly women are like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Yeah. I can make a livable wage off of this. And in the 7th round, the draft is pretty much over. Most people are gone. So Bill Daly for the LA Kings decides, I'm just going to pull a Kings fan out of the stands to come and announce our pick. And they pulled...
I did not remember seeing this.
And they just pulled a random Kings fan out and was like, hey, you can announce who we picked. And he got to announce. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember who they drafted. But I remember seeing that. Also, like, how cool would that be?
That would be cool.
2 truths and a lie? Yeah. I'd be using that in my 2 truths and a lie. I got to announce a draft pick.
I don't remember him being like, two truths and a lie. This is who we picked. This is who we picked. And this is who we picked. Which one's true? That'd be crazy.
Okay, one more thing. Aiden Park. He is a hockey player from Hermosa, California. So he's from that area. He went to the draft as a spectator. I think he had declared, but he didn't expect to go. One of his friends, he initially went day 1 to support his friend who got drafted and ended up on a private jet to whatever team he got drafted to.
Period.
And so he went to day 2 because he was just like, why not, right? Not? Well, then the second to last draft pick comes around, and he gets drafted to the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, wow.
And they freak out. He's in, like, a hoodie, walking up to the stage, like, what am I doing? There's pretty much is only staff in the crowd, because there's 2 picks left.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just staff watching the last few picks.
That's sad.
But how cool is that he was like, I guess I'll go. And then you get drafted. And then you get drafted. Like, that would be my fear.
Do they not just, like, give them a heads up, like, oh, you're about to be the next up pick, so that they can...
No.
That's so silly.
Yeah. That's why so many people at that point in the draft aren't even there. Actually, 99% of them aren't. So that's the last thing I had to say.
Okay.
And that's the NHL draft. There's a ton more that happened, but that's what I wanted to talk about.
Perfect. It's an exciting draft class. I'm excited to see who will play and how their careers evolve. I've got a couple of my favorites, but I'm going to keep those close to my chest in case they make me embarrassed.
Fair.
What are we talking about next episode?
So next week we're going to kind of do, like, our favorite bits of the season. I've been keeping note.
Oh, like a highlight reel?
Basically, our highlight reels of the season. But we've got some exciting stuff in the next few episodes.
All right. Anything else?
That's all.
Perfect. Well, this has been your NHL draft coverage brought to you by Two Girls Chirping.
We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.